Hello, everybody. This is the same group of people as before. I am Nick.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Travis.
And we are going to be doing another podcast, but this one is going to be a little more focused than we usually have. This one is actually going to be on games like Sonic Mania and the original 2D Sonic games like Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, all of those, also like Sonic CD, versus the 3D Sonics, which are coming out more nowadays. And that's more like Sonic Forces. That was also, even though we like to make jokes about it, that's also like Sonic Boom, Sonic and the Black Knight.
I am
Sonic
only
Unleashed.
serious when I talk about Sonic Boom.
Perfect. That's just what we need, Travis. But anyway, we're going to be talking about those games in general, and if there's a certain style that we prefer or not. So, easy first question. Which style do you prefer? Do you prefer the more 3D versions of Sonic, like Sonic Heroes or Sonic Adventure 2? Or do you prefer the old classic kinds like Sonic CD and Sonic Mania?
Well, the question's interesting because I think there's I like 3D games better overall.
Yep.
But I feel like the objective answer is almost 2D Sonic, because while I like 3D Sonic games, 2D Sonic games are just better designed. Now, I don't think those games are great by any stretch. I've never been a fan of either type of Sonic game, but outside of a couple, like most of the 3D Sonic games have been just garbage, and I feel like they haven't even like tried to fix the problem. Like, we're going to be talking about Sonic Forces a little bit for sure.
Yeah.
But that game, while it wasn't bad, I mentioned a few times, like on Twitter and stuff, I said the game was average.
Mm-hmm.
But for a Sonic 3D game, that's basically calling it a masterpiece. Because getting a decent... I was going to say getting a decent 3D Sonic game is like unheard of, because it just doesn't happen.
It's very, very rare for you actually to get a good Sonic 3D game. Because I was going to say, if you're going to list on like what you think of a good Sonic or a good 3D Sonic game, you usually think of, at least in my mind, I would think of Sonic Heroes, even though I know that one isn't as well seen in the other ways. But you would think of Sonic Colors or Sonic, I guess Sonic Forces as well, or Sonic Generations. But Sonic Generations was also part 2D as well. And when you think about all the bad 3D Sonic games, you think of Sonic 06, you think of Sonic and the Black Knight. Some people will disagree with this one, but they'll also say like Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Adventure. And I guess Sonic Adventure 2 is kind of weird because I was younger when I played that, but it's still not as good of a game as the other ones. But it seems like a lot of the issues that you have are with the 3D Sonic games. Like, I played both of them as a kid, and I would recognize the errors made in the Sonic 3D games way more than the 2D Sonic ones. Like, the 2D Sonic ones had the parts where you're really frustrated in. Like, you can have you can have a shield and everything, and you'll just get crushed by a block and die instantly. So what? Like, it's just part of the game. Right. And I guess it's hard to, at least there's certain game franchises that can be able to bridge the gap well, like Mario. Mario did it amazingly. When Super Mario 64 came out, that blew everybody's mind, and it worked for them. Like, Mario, at the time, I'm not saying nowadays, at the time, Mario felt good to control, and for a 3D platformer, you need to have that. You need to have like good controls for a platformer to work. And Sonic, at least with Sonic Adventure DX, I didn't really think had that. And it didn't seem like they, instead of trying to solve the inherent issues of like the core fundamentals for the game, or maybe like the objectives of the game, they just tried putting in gimmicks, like give him a sword in the Black Knight. And I disagree with that big time.
Well, because I think the problem with 3D Sonic is it sort of had an identity crisis. Like, you have the originals like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, which were a lot slower paced. It was more like platforming, and you sort of explore more. It's not you just on one path running around the whole time. Then you get to like Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight, where you're on one path the whole time, and the only thing you really do is like curve your remote to like turn yourself. It's almost like a kart, like a racing game, where you're just like racing down like one track. And then you get to like more the modern 3D style, where like it's fake is what it is. 3D Sonic games today aren't really 3D. They're pretending to be, but they're really 2D Sonic games. Like you mentioned with Sonic Generations, half of that game is 2D Sonic. And Sonic Forces is a lot like that too.
Fun, yeah.
Well, Sonic Forces is that same way, where it had the classic Sonic levels, but then it had 3D Sonic levels. But the 3D Sonic levels, half of the time you were still in 2D planes. So these games were seen as good, but they weren't really 3D Sonic games. They were 2D Sonic games that sometimes went into a third dimension. And so the question is like, the thing is, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and Sonic Adventure, I thought they weren't terrible games. They were just really glitchy games. And instead of trying to fix the glitches, they try to change the 3D style. You know, they said, oh, maybe it's just this formula that isn't working. Whereas the formula I thought was great. I think Sonic Adventure without glitches would be an amazing game. But they didn't fix the glitches. They fixed the other stuff and kind of kept the glitches in, which was weird. So I just feel like they didn't handle it correctly.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. But first thing that I want to say before it happens, technically, like the beginning of the actual 3D trend was not actually Sonic Adventure. It was actually Sonic 3D Blast for, I believe, the Sega Mega Drive.
Right.
So just as a heads up. But anyway, I'm with you, because after Sonic Adventure 2, personally, I loved that game, and I played the crap out of that game growing up. Like, for a while, like, I literally played nothing but City Escape, and I actually have that song stuck in my head right now just thinking about it. But just that game in general actually set up for Sonic 06, which was kind of meant to be like another Sonic Adventure kind of game. And if it was an actual, like, if they set up to do, they did something very similar to the game, but it seems like after that they kind of abandoned their formula after that game. And I personally loved those kinds of games like that, and Sonic Heroes were probably some of my favorite 3D Sonic games. I still liked Sonic Colors, but again, part of Sonic Colors was also in 2D. It seems like they're always trying to give a nod back to that, and there isn't really, at least nowadays, I haven't really seen a full 3D Sonic game without those kind of 2D sections in there, which is kind of weird to me now that I think about it.
Well, because I feel like they gave up on 3D. Because I agree with you. I think you didn't say this, but you know, you like Sonic Heroes, and I would say that Sonic Heroes is my favorite 3D Sonic game because it did the platforming right, and it didn't have that many glitches. It had glitches, but it wasn't like game breaking, and it wasn't awful. It just feels like they took a huge step back with Sonic 06. Because it feels like they rushed their games out sometimes, and that was the problem with Sonic 06, is they had to get the game out by the holidays, and so they kind of forced that game out when it wasn't ready. So that's really Sega's problem, is I feel like they sort of force themselves onto these schedules that are sort of impossible. You know, they set these goals that they simply can't achieve, which is what leads these games to be rushed messes. And so I think people attribute that as saying, well, Sonic just doesn't work in 3D. Well, I disagree. Sonic Heroes clearly works. Sonic Adventure 2 clearly works.
It's still fun to play, too.
Right. It's just, if you spend more time learning how to make these games, and you spend more time, like, cleaning the glitches out and stuff, then I think it works. I just don't think they spend that time with it. Because even 2D Sonic games, some of them do feel rushed. The thing about Sonic Mania is it wasn't rushed. It took fan experience, it took feedback, and they took time with that game, and you get a masterpiece. This is the trend with any game.
Christian Whitehead was already known for working on Sonic, fan-made Sonic games and having a lot of success with them. And Sega was like, yeah, let's bring this guy along and make him work for us and maybe pay him some money. But I'm with you, Mike, that they did feel rushed. And another big thing about it was, I forget when it was, but one of the reasons why Sonic Boom is such the atrocity that it is because of that rush schedule. Because Sega basically said, we're going to have 3 new Sonic games out for, I think, like when the Wii U was launched or something like that, or by the holiday season, and that's when they came out with Sonic and Mario at the Olympic, or Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, whatever year that was, and with Sonic Lost World and with Sonic Boom. And they were absolutely rushed, and because of that, they suffered big time. But you know, like, I really wish that they would try that formula again, because I know objectively it wasn't as good of a game, but a lot of people I know had so much fun playing Sonic Adventure 2, but it doesn't seem like they're willing to try it anymore, and that's what kind of sucks. You kind of have the weird, like, if it's in 3D, you're kind of just tilting back and forth and trying to dodge whatever obstacles are in the way or jumping to avoid it. It's not like it's bad, but it never really captivated me as much as it never made me give me the same rush or the same feel of a Sonic game like Sonic Adventure 2 did, or Sonic Heroes.
Right. It's weird because I feel like Sega handled the 2D 3D thing so much worse than Mario did. Mario releases 2D games and 3D games sort of side by side, whereas Sega feels like it almost has to pick one. You know, it sort of stopped making 2D Sonic games just when 3D stopped working, they said, all right, let's go back to 2D with Sonic Mania, or like making games like Sonic Generations that had 2D in it. It's like, why can't you just like make both side by side and try to just make your 3D games better, you know? It's just, I don't understand.
Well, also another issue that I think I saw with Sonic in general, at least the whole discussion with 2D and 3D Sonic, is I think they kind of forgot how to innovate in a way, or forgot a way to like bring their regular game to the next level. Because you have from Sonic, the original Sonic game didn't have the spin dash. Sonic 2 had the spin dash. Sonic and Knuckles and all these other games, they had good innovation in there in my mind, and like the different levels, the different bonus stages and everything. And it seems like they just didn't want to do it anymore, or they just forgot how to do it.
Yeah.
And then you come back to Sonic Mania, where it seems like this Pagoda West Games and Christian Whitehead and everybody who was fundamental on the project showed them, hey, this is how you innovate these games. We played those games. We loved these games. This is how you should innovate for them. And if we see another game like Sonic Mania, I'm sure people are going to always complain about something, but I don't want them to ever complain about it being more of the same, because they're still going to be innovating on that classic 2D Sonic formula. They
Right.
showed in Sonic Mania that you can still innovate with that simple idea. And it seems like Sega team either doesn't want to focus on that, or they just don't know how to do it anymore.
Yeah.
If they have to bring in fan help to do so, I think it's fine.
Yeah, and I got no problem with that. It almost makes sense to like sort of split the team in that sense and sort of work with fans like that to sort of put out 2D Sonic games every now and then to appeal to that audience, and then focus your main team on the 3D Sonic games, you know, and spend more time like trying to make quality 3D Sonic games. See, this is the thing, because Assassin's Creed Origins and Ubisoft with that game did something smart. They said, look, we've been rushing on Assassin's Creed games every year. Let's take a year off and really spend time developing this game into what we want. And out came a masterpiece. It was the best Assassin's Creed game since 4. They released like 4 bad games in between, and then they finally got a good game out. That's what Sonic needs to do. They need to step back and say, look, let's not rush out Sonic. Let's not say we need to make 3 Sonic games by next year. Let's take a break, like really hone down on what we want a Sonic game to be like, and then go from there. You know, if they said we're not going to make a Sonic game until 2019 because we really want a good experience, I would freaking applaud them for that. I would say that is exactly what I've been waiting to hear, you know?
Yeah, you would applaud them, but they need money. I mean, like, as much as I know Travis doesn't like Halo people, like, when they would crank out a new game, or Call of Duty to crank out a new game every year, and to an extent, if they take too long, they don't really have another project.
But
I don't know about the people for Halo or Call of Duty, but I don't think Sega team can like have the resources to just wait that long before they pump something else out.
Well, I would disagree, because like Ubisoft, well, in the example of Ubisoft, they clearly do. This is like the biggest third-party company there is, and so is Sega.
Yeah.
Let's not act like Sonic is their only IP, you know? There's so many other games they can be developing. Like, Sega has the Sonic team specifically. Like, Sonic team is like a branch of it. And that's why I'm saying don't do nothing for a year. But in that time, you can work with fans, and in that time, you can put out another 2D Sonic game, you know?
Yeah.
I'm saying 3D Sonic can definitely take a break. There's so many other
Sonic
IPs you can work on.
Yeah,
and then spend time like really making a game. Because when you rush games on a schedule like that, you get crap. You know, and is that really what Sega needs? Because if you're just putting out shit time after time, eventually people are going to give up on you, you know?
Yeah. Well, I will say this, though. It doesn't seem like... okay, from what I see, it doesn't seem like Sega doesn't really have a ton of like franchises nowadays that are really like known or like really mainstream. I mean, I think they have Bayonetta and like Hatsune Miku or something like that are decently popular. But besides that, I don't know. There's no icon that they have out there that's as big as Sonic. So if they're gonna have the best chance at success, the easiest way to go or the safest way to go is Sonic.
They did, though. That's the thing about Sega. Like, now we're going beyond Sonic and just saying Sega, is they did have so much. They had Billy Hatcher, which was an amazing game. They had Knights, which had the potential to be an amazing franchise. They had Alex Kidd, which had so many awesome games. And they just kind of... I feel like they put all their eggs into Sonic, and then that 3D turn kind of screwed them. And then they got kind of stuck with Sonic. Because they do release other good games. I mean, there's plenty of great Sega games that are out. They're not as popular because Sega, I feel like they focus so much on Sonic that like that's all they have, you know?
Yeah. Well, at the same way, I know people who, those are like, as much as it's weird to say, I know people who, those are the only kinds of games that they play though, is Sonic games. In the same way people only play sports games like Madden and 2K, there's certain people who really only are waiting for the next Sonic game to play. Mm-hmm. They might play card or something, but their main game series is Sonic.
Hey, tell them to wait.
I'm with you. I kind of want them to wait as well. But I know at least since Sega stopped developing consoles, I mean, Sonic is probably one of their key money makers. And I know that they'll have help, especially with the new Bayonetta game coming out. But that's still going to be a little while away.
Hey,
So
I've been waiting
What?
years for Kingdom Hearts. So if I can wait 12 years for a mainstream Kingdom Hearts game, Sega fans can wait 2 years for a new Sonic game. That's how I feel.
okay, that's fair. But I mean, as much as I disagree with the philosophy of cranking out a new game like every year and actually take your time on it, like Call of Duty, I can understand why they rely so much on Sonic, though, especially if it is their key moneymaker. Doesn't defend what they're doing with 3D Sonic, but I can understand why they're doing it, because they think 3D is the answer, but they haven't thought about what kind of 3D or how to make the 3D the answer. What's cool, though, that I liked about Sonic Forces is you see the frame rate is a lot smoother, the transitions are better. It's still buggy at points. I mean, no game's going to be perfect, but it's still to the point where it's not as noticeable, some of the inherent flaws that it has, I guess.
Hey, Sonic Forces is not a bad game. I don't think it's bad at all. Like I said, I called it average. I would give it like a 75 or 80 ranking. Like, I didn't think it was terrible. It was a smooth game.
But you get things in there because it seems like it's just, at least in my mind, for me, there's a difference between innovation and trying to be gimmicky. You can test things out, but in my mind, I think that the character creation thing is a gimmick. That's just my opinion. It's not a bad gimmick, but it doesn't seem like it's something that's innovative. When I think of something that's innovative, I'm thinking like some of the boss fights in Sonic Mania. They'll teach you how to, or they'll give you like a running boss fight, at least in the, what's an example of one, in the Studiopolis zone. You're running along and they're shooting missiles at you, and there's certain missiles that you can go to hit back at the actual boss itself. And as you're running, they're teaching you these concepts, and it's a different kind of boss fight than you haven't done before. Or in Hydrocity Zone, I don't remember which one is the correct pronunciation, but you're literally in Eggman's machine, and you're the one that's actually damaging him. And if you remember in Sonic 3, that was the one thing that was throwing bombs at you before, and now Eggman's laying the bombs in the water, and you're trying to suck him up in the water like he was.
Yeah.
I think that's innovation. It's not a gimmick, it's innovation. And I think Sega Team has to do more of that, but to do so, they have to have a formula that works and that they stick with.
Yeah. Sonic Forces pretended to be innovative, I think, is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think Sonic Forces was that innovative.
No, I look at, like, it's weird because when the game came out, it felt like it was such a big deal. But, like, when I played it, I'm like, okay, you know, the little alien people are from Sonic Colors. The 2D transition to 3D is like Sonic Generations. Yeah. Like, this game didn't do anything new, like you said, except the avatar creation, which, okay, is like 5 minutes. So you put in a puppy that has creepy, like, eyes. That's, okay. You didn't innovate anything.
Helmet.
Yeah, like, okay, that's not that innovative. It's just something that you put in the game that really isn't that hard to put into a game.
I mean, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's absolutely fun.
Yeah, I'm down
but I mean,
for
it's not anything that's like gonna spark or like get people to keep coming back in my mind.
I will say, I think Sonic Forces was a good start. I guess it makes sense they wouldn't be too innovative. Because I agree, play it safe. Put out a 3D Sonic game that people won't hate. You know, maybe they don't fall in love with it, but they won't hate it. And then use that as a platform to like build even higher. Now do something with the Sonic Forces formula that can be innovative and sort of move up from there.
Yeah. I at least in my mind, I would have liked it if they had something like Sonic Colors, like Sonic Unleashed running sections, or something like that. I think that's a fine way to start, but if you innovate from there, that would be awesome. And honestly, if you don't know how to do so, get some of the people who are huge Sonic fans that have really strong opinions of it and try to find the best way to do so. There's not a shortage of ideas on how to do it, but it seems like there's a reluctance, or maybe not a reluctance, but something that's holding them back from actually doing so. It's fine to play the safe route, I'm with you, but you're gonna get people mad at you for doing that. In this case, I'm gonna kind of side on not playing it safe and trying to do something different, because it's gonna bore people really fast. Sonic goes fast, and you have to make it feel like that he's going fast.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't understand how you're going to make it feel like a Sonic game, because that's the main distinguisher between the other ones. It's a fast platformer.
Right.
That's what I think Sonic is.
Well, Sonic Forces, I'll give a mulligan to. It's whatever 3D Sonic game comes after. That you're right. If they don't do something innovative and unique with it, then I think we're in some deep trouble. But I think Sonic Forces was sort of their way of pulling themselves out from under with like Sonic
Yeah.
Boom and how far that dragged them. Sonic Forces
Yeah.
brings them back to surface level. Now they need something
Yeah.
that can raise them up higher.
Yeah, they had to find a way to basically start gaining ground again, at least get some momentum and get people excited. And
Right.
Sonic Forces, I'm with you. It's a good start to that. It's absolutely a good start to that.
For sure.
But yeah. Sorry, I forgot Travis, you're there. Hey buddy.
I'm
you
here.
wanna
Hello.
say something about it? Your thoughts about me and Mike talking?
So the original question is 2D versus 3D.
Yeah, and I know you've heard me talk a lot about 2D Sonic, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are about it.
Well, on my Christmas list, I did put Sonic Mania, but not Sonic Forces. So,
Good call.
So
That's a good
that
call.
puts in perspective what they're better at.
It's true.
No, I'm absolutely with you. I think they are close to just nailing down 2D Sonics and what they can crank out, and as long as they take their time, I'm okay with it. 3D Sonic, might be a little more iffy on, but yeah, we all are. I guess
They're just so bad at the 3D physics. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so hard for them, because so many other games have figured it out by now.
It's
actually, yeah, good point.
It's like the most commonly used formula, especially for games like that. It's weird they just can't figure it out. Like, just look at Mario. Come on now.
Right. Yeah, because I was watching, I think it was Game Explain. They're usually the channel I go to for things that end up going on to Nintendo. And then the guy who was reviewing Forces, he's just like, they went all in on the Avatar gimmick, and
it was fun.
Like,
I thought it was a good idea.
And quite frankly, I didn't even care, because then there was also Donkey. Jake showed us that one video, and he's like, I literally recreated Sonic with my avatar because I wanted to be Sonic. So he made a blue hedgehog and then all that, and then so I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know if I got Sonic Forces, I would definitely go the Game Grumps route and just make him look like a scary, hilarious looking goofball thing, because I would just find it funny. But like what we were saying, it shouldn't be like that big, whatchamacallit, you know, the words that you guys were using, the intelligent sounding ones.
No, I'm with
Innovative.
I'm
that
with
was
you,
the
dude.
one. Innovative.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I'm smart too. So like, yeah. So they got a good platform now, because like Forces, like you guys said, physics-wise, it wasn't completely janky. There's still like a couple things that I think probably need to be solved, but for the most part, like, they definitely finally got, you know, jumping physics to be, you know, working in their favor.
Yeah.
And hopefully whatever they come out next won't be, you know, the complete meme trash that we are used to.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is like, I feel like at this point they just need an identity. And like, if this is the identity they want, fine. It's just, if I asked you to describe a 3D Sonic game, I could get 10 different answers. You could describe what Sonic Heroes was, what Sonic Adventure was, what Sonic Colors was, Generations, Forces, Boom. I mean, every 3D Sonic game is different.
Lost World.
Yeah. So I think stick to Sonic Forces, make that your 3D Sonic identity, because that seems to be what they're going with like Generations and stuff. And then just work on making it better, you know? And eventually they'll get it right. I think Sonic Forces is a good start, but we'll see where it goes.
And then you'll get those people to shut up saying, Sonic wasn't really that good to begin with. No, Sonic was a huge hit. You people got to forget about that. Look at the Sega Genesis numbers and just look at the Sonic sales.
Yeah.
It's I kind of get frustrated with people saying, I never liked Sonic that much anyway. It's easy to say now when Sonic Team and Sega in general has just been screwing up. But no, like, I would like to see Sonic turn into like that dynasty that it was before, and not having us to make basically easy jokes at Sonic Riders or something like that.
Hey, I say do what Mario does. Make some 2D Sonic games, make some 3D. Alternate them if you have to, you know?
Yeah. And honestly, maybe, at least in my mind, bring out like a Sonic Mega Collection thing for the Switch or something like that, but maybe buy some time if you need to. Re-release those on a newer console so they can still play some of the older Sonic games, because they didn't mess those up.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, we went a little long on this one, but anyway, let us know. Actually, you guys good? Before I finish it?
I'm pretty much set.
I don't have a big history with Sonic, so I think I've said my grains of salt.
You did good.
Just wait till we get to the games that Travis knows, and I'm going to be silent. But anyway, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Let us know if you honestly love the 3D Sonics. Please let us know. I mean, we want to hear your guys' opinions.
Yep.
And as always, thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.